Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the NJ Show, where you get your latest and greatest technical and fundamental analysis, all for free, all on YouTube, and all for you. Hope you're all doing well. Happy 4th of July for everybody who's celebrating it, or for everybody who's taking their time off and enjoying their day. Over here, we don't have that in the UK, so it's another normal Tuesday for us. We're working today, we're streaming today, we're looking at the markets today, we're trying to analyze what the hell is going on. Now, the first thing I have to ask is, are we live? Yes, we are live. All right, fantastic. Right, before we kick off the show, what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you guys, all of you, to drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know what country you're tuning in from. I love doing that. And smash a like on the video so we can get started, all right? It's good to see everybody in the chat. I'll do a shout out when we get some more comments coming in. In the meantime, has anything changed in the last couple of days? I've seen a couple of green charts. I've seen a couple of Bitcoin maxis talking about, 40K, 45K. What are we expecting going into the coming weeks? It is Q3. This is the first NJ stream that we're doing in Q3. So what's the difference? What has changed now that we've had Q1, Q2 go? What are we looking for in Q3? What's going to be the difference? All of these questions will be answered, so stay tuned. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give a quick little shout out to the people in the chat. We have got in the chat, we have got Jargo and we've got Hibby. Good to see you guys. We've got Mush. Some new names. I'm seeing some new names here. Fantastic. Mush, thank you very much for tuning in. Frederico, thank you very much for tuning in, my brother. It's always good to see you. Great to see you. El Nickerman says, where's my shout out? Well, there you go, mate. There's your shout out. Hope that's made your day. Halfwell. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. August, good to see you. For everybody in the chat, please do show respect to the mods. They do it all for free, okay? For now, anyway. So show them lots of love and respect. Abdul, good to see you, brother. We've got Fran in the house as well, saying good afternoon, loving the streams. Thank you very much, Fran. Phil, the Flying Frenchman, as I always say, it's never a stream without Phil. It's never a stream. The most positive individual we have in the community. Unless anybody wants to compete for it, Phil's got the spot right now. We've got Classic Cookie, Consistency, Wagwan chat. What are you saying, Classic Cookie? Hope you're doing good. We've got RKV, who says, yo, any special guests today? Well, not today, but stay tuned. As long as you stay tuned, we'll have some really prestigious characters coming on for you guys over the coming weeks. I can promise you that, okay? That's one thing that we're going to definitely keep going on the NJ show. So hit the smash the subscribe button, and I almost said hit the smash button there. But anyway, subscribe to the channel and more will come, I promise you. All right. We have got Enthusiastic in the house, says, hey, NJ, good to see you, mate. Marios in the house. KAR Crypto in the house. We've got Braho tuning in from the UK. Fantastic. Good to see a neighbor. We've got my friend here tuning in from the Baltics. We've got August tuning in from Bulgaria. We've got Usman tuning in from Pakistan, I think that is. Salam to you too. We've got Ken. Ken is in the house saying, hey, NJ, greetings from Malaysia, and thanks for doing this once again. Fantastic. We've got the Czech Republic in here. We've got Big G here. We've got people from India here. Fantastic. We've got Yahya tuning in from Algeria. We got oh wow, okay, all the comments are coming in now. Right, I must continue. Let's kick off the show because we have got quite a bit to talk about today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and we'll kick the show off, all right? Where's my screen? There's my screen. Okay, so look, usually we do this on a Monday, but it's not Monday, it's Tuesday now, and we didn't stream yesterday, so we're going to do this now. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at Forex Factory, all right? For anybody that's new here, the reason we like to start the stream this way is because we like to ascertain what's in front of us, okay? We want to know if there's any events or if there's any activities going on within the traditional side of the market to ensure that we're not trading against it. We don't want to get stopped out. We don't want to lose money, okay? So the first thing that we're looking at here, I can't see anything off the bat. I can't see anything at all. We see one here. We've got FOMC meeting minutes, and that comes in tomorrow at 7 p.m. my time, okay? So that might be one to watch out. I don't think the market will react to that because it's just the meeting minutes. What else have we got? We have got PMI on Thursday. That will be an interesting one. Okay, that will be an interesting one. When it comes to ISM manufacturing, it kind of in a way, it's laggy, but it kind of in a way tells you where the overall direction of the market is. All right, I don't know exactly what the ticker is for that on TradingView, but if I do remember it, we'll chart it and I'll show you guys what I mean. I've done it in an episode before. It's really, really fascinating stuff, and it does give you an indication as to what direction the overall market is pointing towards, which does include Bitcoin. All right, that's one. So that's two. Have we got anything else? No, 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 no. I was expecting to see CPI somewhere here. I know we've got CPI coming at some. There we go. So we've got CPI in a week. We got CPI in a week. So next week will be fun. We'll do a fun CPI watch along. It will be a lot of fun, especially with the way that the market is right now. And in fact, given that we've got CPI next week, I'm pretty sure that's going to line up with the Bitcoin plans I'm going to share with you guys today. But stay tuned for that, coming in a few minutes. Looking over at CoinGecko, we can see that there's not a crazy amount of activity in the market. Okay, not a crazy amount. We can see Bitcoin is up 1.4% for the day, 1% up for the week so far. There's nothing really going on. Ethereum up 4%. I wonder what that's telling us. I wonder what that is telling us. We've got BNB up at 2.3%. We've got Litecoin up at 19.8%. Now, I'll tell you guys something very, very quickly. Now, the backbone of In It for the Tech isn't Trader NJ. It isn't this beautiful face that you see here, this handsome, debonair individual that you guys have tuned in to witness today. Smash a like on the video if you think I'm handsome. All right? Thank you very much. I think you're beautiful as well, just to let you know. It's actually Murtaza. You guys haven't met Murtaza yet. He has appeared on the stream once in a while, but he is my brother in arms, and he is the one that manages In It for the Tech in the background. Now, when it comes to Murtaza, what did he say a couple of weeks ago? He put some updates in the Telegram to say, guys, I'm taking a position in Litecoin. Why? Because the Litecoin halving is coming up. If anything is going to outperform the market, it's going to be Litecoin. Now, for those of you who entered, fantastic. I personally didn't because I don't like to make money, apparently. And now we're looking and we're seeing that Litecoin is 20% up for the day, all right, or for the week or whatever it is. I think his average entries were at $86. So go and look at the Telegram chat. The link is in the description below. It's the first link. You guys are all welcome to go and check it out. It's a community that's growing. I'm really enjoying it. It's actually better than Twitter in a way. I'm thinking of maybe doing a live show in the Telegram chat. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Anything else that sort of looks shiny? Solana's up 15%. We can maybe look at Solana later. Bitcoin Cash, the real Bitcoin, is up 20%. We've got a few 20% across the board, but there's nothing that's screaming out to me that the market has changed. All right. So without further ado, let's go to Bitcoin. Now, what is Bitcoin doing? Has anything changed? That's what we want to know. Now, what I'm going to do is, I know that you guys have all seen this chart before, so I'm not going to bore you with the exact same thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to explain it in a slightly different way for some of those who don't understand, just to try and see exactly what I'm seeing. And then you can add your opinion in as time goes on. Feel free to drop in comments or whatever. All right. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. So if your opinion doesn't agree with mine, as long as you're respectful about it, this community in the chat is a very good community. We'll all show you respect back. I guarantee you. So don't feel afraid to drop a comment in, especially if you don't agree. All right. We can talk about it. Now, we can argue. In fact, we don't even need to argue because it's right here on the chart. We'll call this the bull market. Okay. Now, what does that mean? When I say we'll call this the bull market, what does that mean? That's the first question that comes to mind. Well, we've got these lows here from September 2020, and we push all the way to 69K up here, November 2021. So we've got a year of price action, and look how monstrous that year was. In 1 year, Bitcoin went from $9,000 to $69,000. Now, do me a favor. Everybody do me a favor. Remember that, what I just said. Okay, NJ, Bitcoin went from 9K to 69K and it did it in 1 year. All right. Remember that, yeah? Remember that. Then we can argue we've got the bear market right here, where Bitcoin went from 69K all the way to 15K. Okay. And it took a year to do that. All right. The top was in November 2021. The bottom seems to have been November 2022. So in the bull market year, let's do the maths one more time. In the bull market year, it was 1 year. All right. Bitcoin went from 9K to 69K. That's 1 year. Then in that same 1 year time frame, Bitcoin went from 69K to 15K. So that's 1 year, 1 year. Now, what has Bitcoin done since then? Since January, we have completely rallied off the lows. We've had no pullbacks. It has been very aggressive. Okay? Minimal pullbacks. Not no pullbacks, but minimal pullbacks. And this range is a beautiful range. All right? We've bounced off the lows here that was made in November 2022. We came up, respected the range level. Strong support, we rallied off straight away. Strong support, we rallied off straight away. Okay? How long has it taken Bitcoin to do that? January the 1st, and we are now July the 4th. So there's something that doesn't really match up. Okay? Because if we look at this pattern, we say Bitcoin went from 16K to 31K in 7 months. We had 9K to 69K, that was 1 year. We had 69K to 15K, that was 1 year. Look at the volatility. Look how big and aggressive that price action is. You got alt season on the way up for the bulls, alt season on the way down for the bears. Everybody was shorting. But this doesn't line up with me. This doesn't add to the pattern. When you say Bitcoin is at 16K and it's at 31K, if that was 1 month, maybe 2 months, I would say, yeah, you know what? The party is just getting started. Everybody would have to subscribe at that point because the amount of mania that we're going to witness would be intense. And it will be. It will be. We're going to touch on that as well. I'm a big believer of the bull market and I'll share that with you guys shortly. All right? So for me personally, this isn't enough. This isn't enough. To go from 16K to 31K and to take 7 months to do it, that's not bull market for me, all right? We've got the price action right next to us to show us what a bull market looks like and what a bear market looks like. If we want to drag it out even further, right? And we want to come here, we draw the same box here. We've got 15th of September 2017 to December 7th. 3 months. This is 3 months. Bitcoin went from $3,000 all the way to $20,000 in 3 months. Broke all-time highs, made new all-time highs, huge all-time highs, and it set the precedent for that next 69K rally we had. So why am I talking about all of this? What relevance does it have to you as the viewer or you as the trader? How does this help you in any way, shape, or form? Well, let's be realistic. We all want that alt cycle. We all want the big alt season where we all make a stupendous amount of money, generational wealth. We all want to buy our dad some cars and we want to buy our kids, private school, whatever. Everybody wants to buy something. Maybe you want to buy a new watch or something like that. Okay, so the question that you've got to ask yourself is, what do we need to do to get to that stage where we can start making that generational wealth? Because right now, personally, I don't really see anybody making that generational wealth. I see some people winning and I see the majority losing. I see Bitcoin only doing a 2x in 7 months. I see that altcoins are shining, but they're not really shining the way that they would in 2021 or the way that they did in 2017. So one thing that we don't want to lose is we don't want to lose money. Therefore, it's important for us to identify where we are in the cycle to the best of our abilities so that not only do we save money, but we make sure that we don't blow up the bull market when it comes. When the bull market comes, we want to be positioned. We want to be prepared. We want to be ready to attack, and we want to have a plan so that we don't mess it up. And that's what a majority of people are going to do. And I'll show you why now. Now, given that this price action is from January to July, I'm going to extend this price action and do this. Okay? All I've done at the moment is I've highlighted the range. Yeah? Would you not argue that this price action right here looks very similar to that price action there. Now, let's dissect that, okay? Let's dissect that. If we zoom into this a little bit here, Bitcoin establishes its lows. It gives us that monstrous rip. Look how big that rip was. Bitcoin went from $3,000 to $14,000. And how long did it take to do that? It hit $3,000 December 2018. And by June, it was at $14,000. Bitcoin went and did a 4 or 5x. It was nearly a 5x Bitcoin did. And it was in the same time frame that we have done this 2x that we've done now. Arguably, there was more money being put into the system when this move happened here over this move here. So that's another detective kind of clue that we've got there. Another clue that we've got that says, well, okay, hold on a second. If this is a bear market rally, okay, if we're proving that this is a bear market rally, fine. But there is some cause of concern. Why would there be more money coming into Bitcoin during the 2018 period over the 2023 period? That doesn't make any sense. Surely Bitcoin is what breaks the system. Bitcoin is financial freedom. Bitcoin is this. Bitcoin is that. Bitcoin is going to do this. Bitcoin is going to do that. Well, the more you look into it, the more you'll find that Bitcoin does follow the economy. And Bitcoin does follow the markets. And there will be people on Twitter who have absolutely no market knowledge. They'll never come on a stream and debate it. They'll never stick their face out and debate it. They'll just stay on Twitter saying, Bitcoin is above 31K. How are you feeling, bears? Rocket emoji, rocket emoji, rocket emoji. They won't ever share P&L. They'll only share P&L when they're winning. You can quickly find those people. They come in abundance. You know, unfortunately, I've even got friends that do it, you know. That said, now we've got more evidence to work with. If I'm saying that we are in a bear market rally, if I'm saying that the price action of Bitcoin now looks like this price action here, then I dragged that range out, didn't I? So let me drag this range out here. Okay. Now we've got range lows, we've got range highs, we've got range lows, we've got range highs, and we've got the breakout. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it out even further. Let me drag it out even further. There we go. That looks like the range, doesn't it, guys and girls? That looks like the range. There we go, right there. Where would everybody have gotten bullish? Where would everybody have gotten bullish? Everybody would have gotten bullish right here. And I'll be honest with you, even I got a little bit bullish. When I saw this, I started saying, yeah, look, we're starting to see possibilities now that we might be coming to take out this area here and potentially this area here, which means that Bitcoin's going to make a new all-time high. If Bitcoin was to crack this area here, then we're now in price discovery. All right? So this is the range. And I like this range. We're going to keep it. Okay? Now, with this range, we've got the range highs, which come in here. We've got the range highs. That's the first area of liquidity. We were dumping, and the first time that the market found support was right here. These were the highs that capped it. And then we started trading within this range until the range broke, and we established our real range lows. Oh, is the camera okay? Hold on. Okay, the camera's okay. We established our real range lows, okay? Went back to the range high once we took out the range low. Went back to the range low once we took out the range high or close enough. And then we started our bull market. Now, how does that match up with this? If I was to... something like that. I can't, it doesn't exactly line up. But what I'm seeing here is if we're to drag this range out, okay? If we look at this left area here and we see this is what a macro bottom looks like. This area here is what a macro bottom looks like. That's the area where you see structure on price prints out something like that. Then you know that that compression, that accumulation, that range bound environment, that's what leads to these big, big aggressive moves up or these big moves down. Okay? So similarly here, what I'm saying is until we have prevalent news, until we have something that will actually not just change Bitcoin, not just change the crypto market, but overall, the overall market, which will allow crypto to thrive, until we get something like that, which I think we're 6 months away from that. Okay? We're already seeing the signs. The applications are coming in. The attention is slowly turning towards Bitcoin, but we're not there yet. We can't argue and say that we're going to be looking for a full-blown bull market just yet. Okay? So what I'm saying is until we get that data, until we see that the global economy is turning properly, why do we need to treat this as anything more than a range? You've got a range high here, a range low here, you've got a range high here, you've got a potential range low here, and then you've got a range high here. Now, if we were a year and a half ago, if this was a year and a half ago, I would say we've got a range high, a range low, 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 a range high, a range low. But I'm not saying that today. What I'm saying today is we've got a range high, bring it down to the range low, range high, bring it down to the range low, or close enough. When we start pushing up, would that not be enough to consider a macro bottom? We've got the Bitcoin halving coming up. These ETFs are starting to come through. Altcoins are starting to print the right looking type of bottoms. This could potentially be the start of something very, very big. Okay? And I want you guys to remember that NJ saying that. I know that calling for this, I know that this area here is a very controversial area to discuss price. To say like, yeah, price might come back down to 16K or 15K or potentially even sweep these lows. I know it's very difficult to sort of listen to me say that and think to yourself, oh, well, this guy's just bearish. I'm not going to listen to him. I've got all my money in Bitcoin right now. I've got all my money in my favorite altcoin right now. How dare he say that this price will go all the way down? But what I would say is I encourage you or I implore you to not take the piss or to not run away, or to not just leave the stream. Why don't you drop your opinion in the chat? We're all willing to listen to it. Okay? For me, what we're seeing, in my opinion, is the market hasn't crumbled yet. We've been talking about rate hikes. We've been talking about recessions. We haven't had the recession yet. The rate hikes haven't stopped yet. The market hasn't broken yet. What's the point of the rate hikes? Inflation is going down every month. CPI might come through this month, next couple of weeks, CPI might come through. And when CPI comes through, inflation might be lower. So what's the point? Why are we continuing to hike the rates? What is the point? Well, they're hiking the rates until the market resets. The market has a tendency of resetting. That's the whole point of the range low and the range high. The whole point of it is that the market resets. When you've got highs that are printed here, with enough money in the system, price will reset. Price will find a way to come back to this area. When price rockets off and never comes back, price will find a way to come back to that area. 2015's got scarier. Sorry, private joke. But the point I'm making here is that we've got these highs here and they've come. It looks like we're going to take them out. And we're going to do some trade plans as well in a short while. I'm going to give you guys a couple of setups. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you with just a macro explanation and then disappear. I'll give you a trade setup too. So stay tuned for that. Okay? Now, I don't know how low we can go. my personal opinion is that we take out these lows. Just my personal opinion. It's not to show hatred towards anybody in the chat. It's not to show hatred towards anybody on Twitter. I'm not trying to lose friends by doing this. I think you're an absolute see you next Tuesday. If you get annoyed by an opinion, you probably have a nice, small, very small pecker. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe someone dicked your wife. I don't know. I really don't know. I apologize for the bad language. But to get upset over an opinion, you have to be, your masculinity has to be at an all-time low to get offended by an opinion. That's just my personal take on it, personally. And there are a few very emasculine guys on Twitter, especially as of late. I can even shout a few out. I think I will call them out shortly, but not in this stream. Let the stream get bigger and bigger, then I probably will come back to it. So given that I've given you the explanation about accumulation now and what a macro bottom looks like, well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a setup on Bitcoin now. And then what we'll do is we'll look at one or two altcoins that look like they're printing a macro bottom, because the macro bottom is what you're looking for in order to get that massive pump. So you're going to be looking for charts that are printing that macro bottom. Then you're going to mix fundamental analysis with it. Or you can just ignore all of that and just tune into In It for the Text NJ show or any other shows that we might be having, any other shows that might be coming up in the future. We've got a lot planned here at In It for the Tech, It's not just going to be one stream every 3-4 days. No. No, we've got a lot planned here. There might be one or two people onboarding. There might be more streams for you guys in the near future. Maybe we'll be streaming more than once a day in the near future. All for free. It will all be for you guys. As long as you guys are tuning in, as long as you guys are enjoying the content, it will be there for you. All right? So let's close off all of this now. My stance on Bitcoin is very simple. Okay? Where is liquidity resting? If this is a game of liquidity, where is liquidity resting? Liquidity is resting above here. Okay? That is where liquidity is resting. Have we taken out liquidity yet? No, we haven't. The moment we do something like that, I'm expecting everybody to feel how they felt when price did that. Okay? And when price does come back down, and I'll give you the same setup in a second, in this area here, this is where we want to really run away for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. This is where we really want to run away. Okay? Now, if I drag it out further here, I'm saying that this is the area here where I expect everybody to get super bullish. Price comes down, price retests this area here or close enough, and then this becomes the deviation. Target 1, target 2, and then leave the market for a second. Let the market chill out for a second. Okay? We'll wait. We'll see whatever happens. Maybe something like this. Maybe something like that. Slow bleed. Once we get back below 24K and we start showing resistance, then we'll talk about this. But I want you guys, I've got a little bit of homework for you guys as well. If you guys go on Google real quick and type in market maker buyer model, market maker seller model, take a screenshot of what I'm showing you here now and then Google that. Tell me if the picture lines up or not. And tell me if it lines up with what I showed you guys here as well on the left. Yeah? I'm not trying to force you to believe in what I'm saying. All I'm simply saying is what I intend to do. Now, look, we've got 140 ledgers in the chat. I really do appreciate it. We've got 55 likes. Can we get to 100 likes? If we can get to 100, I'm happy. I won't beg for no more, right? 100 is good. So everybody just stop what you're doing for a quick second. Smash a like on the show, all right? Get to 100. We're only 45 away. That's not that many of you. And smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Bottom right-hand corner. Lots of content coming for you guys over the next 2-3 years. Okay, so park your seat, get comfy. We're here for the long run. All right. Who's this guy? FFS. Get on with it already. Let me show you this trick. Hold on. Let me block this guy. There we go. Mashallah. Goodbye, Mustafa. Goodbye. That wasn't an opinion. We respect opinions in here, but that wasn't an opinion. That was you being a douchebag. Get out the show, man. You waste, man. You just missed out on everything. Fantastic. That felt good, that felt good. It's crazy because we don't have that many people in this stream. We usually get a lot of people in this stream that are very, very sensible, very polite, X, Y, and Z. So this is my plan for Bitcoin here. I'm very, very focused on this area right here. I'm very, very focused on this area right here. This area is where I'm looking to trade. Okay. I want us to sweep this 32K area. And when it does sweep the 32K area, I'm not going to touch it because it can go high. It can go as high as here. It can go as high as here. There's no point longing the breakout because we don't know when it's going to close back inside of the range. Do you understand? So let price do whatever it wants to do up here. Okay? Do not feel FOMO. Do not at any point in time feel FOMO because you know that price can come into here. Price can anywhere in this area could be the high. And this is a fantastic comment. Look at this comment. But everybody's waiting for 32K. So maybe it's better not to give everyone a taste of that. Fantastic comment from Igor. I like this opinion. This is why I'm saying if we do break out, if we do get above 32K, don't trade it. Ignore it. Don't trade it. The moment, let it go however high it wants to. Even if it wants to go up to 40K, let it do its thing. There'll be altcoin setups. There'll be intraday scalp setups. Don't touch this. The moment it gets back below this 32K area, we're going to need to discuss why. Why would we take out this liquidity here? Why would we take out this area here and start pushing higher only to come back below the 32K level? Why would we do that? How does that make any sense? Unless this whole thing here was a liquidity run. And then if we did get back below that 32K area, well, then it's not even a situation of bias. My bias isn't that I'm bearish. My bias is that we are in accumulation. This is a range. This is what we're printing as a macro bottom. All right? We're printing as a macro bottom. What does a macro bottom look like? There is your example there on the left. Does that look like what we've got right now? No. If we was to come back one more time, something like this, maybe a higher low, whatever you want to call it, that's what a macro bottom looks like. Then I'm going to be confident. I'm going to say to myself, all right, well, look, now we've got the Bitcoin halving coming. Now we've got the rate pauses. Now we've got the rate cuts. Now we've got money, fresh money flowing back into the system. Now the economy is booming. People are going and financing TVs and phones and cars. And my friend here got a house and this person got a house and landlords are going crazy. When I start seeing all of that put together and I see Bitcoin do this, then I'm going to get confident. Then I'm going to say to myself, all right, there are plenty of reasons why we are going into a bull market right now. Okay, good question here. Let's see. At what point would you consider your macro bottom thesis to be invalidated? Well, very, very simple. Very, very simple. If Bitcoin breaks above 32K and we get above here, maybe 37K. If we get above 37K, I'm going to trade it. Okay, there will be trades in between here as well. This area right here, although I'm telling you not to touch Bitcoin, there are going to be areas in the market which we can trade, like altcoins. There'll be a few altcoins here and there that will share setups. What I'm saying is, at this stage, if Bitcoin has gone from 15K to 32K, it's touched the first real area of resistance. This is the first real area of resistance, and it's the first time it's doing it. It's not the second or third or fourth or fifth or sixth. It's the first time it's doing it. Why are we expecting Bitcoin to just rally away from here? If this is major resistance, let's zoom out. Let's do this. Would you not agree that that's major resistance? The only time we ever touched it was on the way down. Okay? We touched it here. On the way down. But that doesn't count because that's part of the downtrend. That's part of this. This is the first time that we've touched it. So if this does become a deviation, that just makes sense to me. If we hold above it, then I'll be riding altcoins. I'll be riding altcoins anyway. For those of you who are following the Telegram channel, for those of you who are following on Twitter, I have started to research altcoins. Okay? And that's what I'm going to be doing now for the next 2 years. I'm going to be researching altcoins. That's going to be the plan. So as Bitcoin pushes up, we'll see what happens. I really am doubtful for this, unless the Fed come out with something insane. And at the same time, if Bitcoin did do that, if Bitcoin did just start going up like this from here, does that really look like a macro bottom to you? Does that price action really make sense? We had all of this downside and we had maybe what, 5 weeks or 6 weeks to buy the bottom? Is that what Bitcoin did here? Was it 5 weeks or 6 weeks here? Was it 5 weeks or 6 weeks here? No, it wasn't. You know, it wasn't. And we'll look at other charts as well to show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, we'll look at other charts. I'll give it. In fact, let's give an example now. Look at Zalika. I tweeted this yesterday. Okay, I tweeted this yesterday. Hold on. There we go. Now, where we are on Bitcoin currently looks like this. That's what it looks like for Bitcoin right now. Okay? That's what I'm seeing where Bitcoin is. We've had our first significant bounce after so much downtrend. Okay? Now, on the Zalika chart, we're already printing that bottom. Maybe one more time, maybe another time, maybe it takes a few times. And then I'm looking for that massive expansion because look, this is where price was. This was the deviation. And why do I call that the deviation? Because this was the chop that sent the market all the way up here. Okay? We come back now. We are now testing this area. This is the area that we're testing. Look at what price is doing inside of this area. Look what price does every time we tap that gray box. Every time we come near enough that gray box, price rallies away. A big shout out to Miles in the chat. Thank you very much for your super chat. Absolute legend. Follow Miles on Twitter. Miles is dropping serious content. He's working with Nick and Mac and AM and a few of the other boys. They're dropping superb content. So we'll share Miles' Twitter in a short while. Do remind me. He's definitely going to be part of the class of 2025. He's going to be a fun character to watch out for, all right? Along with Crypto Mac, Crypto AM, etc., etc., etc. So again, going back to Zalika, this is what I want to see. You see, right now, everybody is focused on trading. Everybody's focused on trading. And look at this. This is the irony. People are focused on making sure that they can capitalize on this small area here when the upside, look at the upside. Look how much money you can make on the upside. Let's say, for example, we threw $1,000 in at this gray box. Okay? Let's put $1,000 in. How much is our $1,000 worth now? That's 1,600%. That's 16 grand. And all you did was you sat at your desk, you scratched your balls the whole day, you put your money in at this grey box right here, $1,000. There was no analysis, no trading, no intricacy, no macro bottom, no indicators, no nothing. You put $1,000 in here in the grey box. And then in a year's time, or 6 months' time, or 7 months' time, you sold for 16 grand. And then what you do is you go and look for another chart that looks just like Zalika, and you look for it to be around this area here. This area right here. You look for other charts and say, okay, now that I've milked Zalika, let me go to another chart. Oh, I'm seeing the exact same pattern on Zalika that Zalika was forming right before it had its day. Now I'm seeing this chart and it's in this area here. I'm expecting another pump. So let's see, you put your 16 grand in there or you put 5 grand in there. Let's put 5 grand in there. Let's have a look. 400%. Who is this genius trader? So now you've taken your 16 grand and you've turned it into 64. And you didn't do anything. You didn't join any TA classes. You didn't join any fundamental class. You didn't pay for no courses. You bought in the grey box. You rode it all the way up. You sold around the top. You made 15, 16K. You were looking around on TradingView. You're not even paying for TradingView. You're looking around. You're looking Solana. Oh, that one's gone. Polkadot. Oh, that one's gone. Let me look at HBAR. Oh, HBAR looks interesting. Oh, it looks very similar to Zalika. I like this box here. It looks very, very similar to Zalika. I'm expecting a big push. And then suddenly 400%. What is the difference between me and you? What is the difference between me and you? This is what I did. This is what I do. That's what I do. I wait for the money to come in, the rotations to kick in. You need 3-4 rotations in the next bull market. And I promise you, for all 130 people in the chat, I promise you, your life will change. Your life will change. Yeah? So that is what a macro bottom looks like. Notice how we bounce off this gray box here. Okay, every time we bounce off this gray box, we come to the highs, we take out liquidity in the highs, we come back down in the gray box, we come back up again, then we come back down again, and we squeeze, and then we get that big move. And I promise you, go back and back test this. It's not just Zalika, there are other charts as well. If I'm to look at a chart like, for example, I know this is XO's favorite one, okay, and a big shout out to Trader SC and Trader XO, my mentors. A lot of the stuff that I've learned has been from them. They're very, very good people, and they're very, very, they're very generous and caring. So a big shout out to them, because their knowledge is the best. The way that they teach is good. Look at this. If we're going to take this area here, look how it pumped. Look how it pumped. What did we get for that pump? Was it just this area here that caused the pump? Or was it this macro range here? Was it that macro range there? And look as well, in that Bitcoin chart that I shared, do you remember where I said this is where everybody gets bullish? This is where everybody really thinks that we're going to be so bullish and we're going to go X, Y, and Z. Price comes back in. There's your retest. Please rewind the video if you haven't seen it, because I've explained this already. There's your retest. And there's the accumulation. Once the accumulation is done, boom. Now, what we're seeing here right now with this downtrend, does that look like a macro bottom to you? Have we done this? Have we done that? No, we haven't. Have we maybe established a low? So, for example, have we maybe done this, then do 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 this? That's what a macro bottom looks like. And then I tell you what, this whole thing becomes a macro bottom at that point, and then OP gets sent to brand new highs. Market structure is a very important thing. A lot of people don't believe in TA, but market structure and technical analysis can really, really help you understand the story behind what the market is telling you. Okay, now I'm telling you what I'm looking for on Bitcoin already. As I've said, okay, I'm of acceptance now that 32K is on the cards. And I'm of acceptance that we might even push as high as 38K, even 40K. Okay? This chunky area here, for me, is a supply zone. Albeit, there is a lot of liquidity resting above here. So I'm not sure we're going to get that high. But whatever price wants to do above 32K, is for price to handle. If price wants to make everyone bullish like this, that's perfectly fine. I'll wait. The moment we come back down here, the moment we get this retest area here, everybody's going to think, yep, look at this, guys. We're probably going to be going up from here. Target 1, okay? See if we get the bounce. That could be the low. That could be the low, okay? If we do break below 24K, all of this becomes a deviation. If all of that becomes a deviation, run. Nobody's going to be taking the piss out of me anymore. If all of this becomes a deviation, 5, 6, 7 months, and that's the deviation, you think that we're just going to range low? You think that we're going to bounce at 19K? No, my friend. No. Don't, me and my friend were talking about this yesterday. We were talking about this yesterday. I can't release a book that says how to not screw up the bull market. All I can tell you is don't FOMO at resistance, and don't don't get shook at the range lows. But if you FOMO at resistance and you round trip everything back into this range low, do you know what you're going to do? Let me tell you what will happen. Your entry was at 16K and it goes to 32K. You're like, you know what? I'm done with crypto. I bought the lows. Let Bitcoin go all the way back to 15K if it wants to. I'm in. I'll chat to you guys in 2 years. It's a smart strategy. Okay. It's an investor strategy. I don't blame you. But you see, if all of this becomes a deviation, all of this, what's going to happen is if we come back to the range lows, there's a very big chance that we take liquidity out on this side too before we do this. You see this area here? It's going to hurt. Everybody that bought Bitcoin here will puke their positions. They will puke their positions. And then the moment they puke their positions, boom, bull market. And then you sold the absolute low. And where did we come into? We came into the previous consolidation, the previous accumulation. Now I'll drag this out. Thank you, everybody, for waiting before going higher. Does that not look better? Does that not look possible? Does that not look... I'm not even going to say likely, but does that not look realistic? What am I asking for on the higher time frame? How does this make me bearish? Because I'm looking for a place to buy Bitcoin. I'm looking to get ready for the big alt season that I'm looking for. So how does this make me bearish? Tell me, does anybody have an opinion in the chat that could say to me, well, NJ, I think you're wrong because of this, or NJ, I don't agree with you because of this, or NJ, I don't like what you're talking about because of X, Y, and Z. Have I not marked out the resistance that we are currently at? Have I not marked the significance of the resistance that we are already at? Have I not marked the previous accumulation that we had before the market went to 69K? All I'm saying is let's retest this accumulation area here and then let's get sent. Let's get sent. At that point, we've taken liquidity out above 32K. We've tapped liquidity into this accumulation area here. The last time we did that, by the way, Bitcoin went to 69K. Imagine what it will do if it taps it this time. I'm calling for over 100K Bitcoin. I ain't selling my Bitcoin below 100K next cycle. Clip this if you want to clip this. Dislike the video if you want to dislike the video. I'm not selling my Bitcoin for less than 100K next cycle. And I'm going to buy back. Even if I do, I'm going to buy back in the next bear market. If this channel grows enough, we will short the market on the way back down in the next bear market. Not before we make millions on the way up. Me and you. Okay? So there's your Bitcoin. Is everybody clear on Bitcoin? Is everybody clear on Bitcoin? Please drop me a message in the chat and let me know if you're clear on Bitcoin. While you're doing that, I'm going to shout out Krish. Krish says, this is what Ninja Scouts also thinks. I think 10K. Krish, I really like your emoji, mate. I really like your picture there. Really, really cool. Patrick says, fire. Braho says, I read somewhere that BTC could tap 42K as peak of deviation, then would go to the lows of 3K. Anything is possible, Braho. Anything is possible. Okay? We're open to any scenario because we're traders and we'll become investors when the market tells us to become investors. If Bitcoin wants to go to 40K, then 3K, we'll deal with that as it comes. It's not going to happen on the hourly time frame. It's going to happen on the monthly time frame. We'll have plenty of episodes of In It for the Text NJ show. We'll have more episodes. We'll have more interactive shows. The Telegram will be there. The Twitter will be there. I'm not just going to let Bitcoin do that without updating everybody. All right? So don't even worry about it. Victor says the chart is clear. El Nickerman says, at what point do you think is desirable to start getting into altcoin? Ooh, good question, Nika. Good question. I'm not going to answer that yet. Good question. I like that. Juan says 100% agree. Bram says, is this the Bram that I think it is? Absolute gold, TA, mate. Good to see you, Bram. If it is the Bram that I think it is, really good to see you, bro. Hit me up on Telegram. Hit me up. Halfwell says, that's lovely read, NJ. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much. Are we getting the yeses in the chat? Yep, all clear, all clear, all clear. All clear, all clear, all clear. Good. Right. Oh, we made it to 100 likes. Fantastic. 104 likes. Thank you very much, legends. Thank you very, very much. Also, smash a subscribe on the channel as well. Smash a subscribe on the channel as well. We want the NJ show to grow and we want the army to build up. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a quick setup. I tweeted this yesterday. So it's already gone a little bit, but there is a continuation plan that I'm looking for. So this is Aptos. I was at my desk for the whole day yesterday. I was looking at charts the entire day. I thought to myself, yeah, let me see if I can see any shitcoin setups. And we didn't actually get in here. I actually got in around here. So it's not quite the 3R. It's more of a 3R. Yeah, 3R. Hold on. There we go. 3R. So what I'm looking for now on Aptos, let me just describe it for you guys. Should I delete the chart and redo it? No, Marios. No. Marios, this is not financial advice. You can't just long ZIL right now. It might take a year before it does that massive spike that I'm talking about. It might take 7 months. It won't be now. Unless it's a quick trade, intraday trade. That's not what I'm talking about. Anyway, I know you know what I'm talking about. Rewatch the video before you start pressing the green and red button, all right? Anyway, let's talk about Aptos. So what I've done with Aptos, for those of you who are trying to figure out how these setups work, is simple. So I've marked this level out here. That comes in at around 6.8, okay? $6.80. I've marked this level out here because you've got support. Every time we've gone below that level, we've deviated it. On top of that, we're making... Oh, sorry. Bear with me. On top of that, we've made a higher low now. So really and truly, I'm not looking to play Aptos for a massive spike up. I marked this area of support out here as well. Resistance now. I like this area of resistance. Why? Because you've got the lows here and you've got the lows here. And then when we finally broke through, it was kind of... Oh, sorry. When we finally broke through, it was kind of that classic setup that you've got there, where you've got the retest here and then price sells off. All right. That's how I got my levels. Now, what I did was I looked at these highs right here yesterday. And these highs, they lined up with the trend line, this green trend line that I've got here. And it kind of lines up with this smaller trend line that I've got here. Okay? Hopefully everybody can see that. Right? So what I'm looking for now, and I'm looking for this on the daily, on the H4, and then the H1. I'm looking for a tap back into this area here. This is a valid long setup. If Aptos hits anywhere between 760 and 780, it is a valid long with your stops below here. Stops would be around... Yeah, that's fair. Around 660, 650, your stop would be. And that's a 2R trade. Okay? So that's what I'm waiting for. We've got this trend line here. I'm looking for... If we bring that into the 4 hour... Excuse me. Apologies for that. Bring that into the 4 hour. All I'm saying is I'm looking for some bullish market structure now. I'm looking for something like this. And then like that. Okay? And then you've got your... I'm not very good at drawing straight lines, you know? You've got your little trend line there as well. Look how messy that chart is getting. But yeah. Does everybody understand that for Aptos? Is everybody clear? Everybody all good? I'll do GRT next. I'll have a look at GRT next. I did message Liz about that today, actually. I messaged Liz. So Sam says, what the F is that low? Is it 10K? I don't know how low it can go. It can go 15K, 16K. The low could be 18K. The low could be 14K. It could be 12K. It could be 10K. I could be completely wrong. It could go to 3K. I don't know. Mark what I've marked out on your charts and have a look. look at the chart and make an opinion and say, well, look, this is what I think is going to happen. But is everybody clear on Aptos? Because we need to move on. Yeah. All right. I'll do GRT now. And then we're going to move on to some other stuff. And then I'm going to wrap up the stream. So let me remove all of this. Let's go to the monthly. Let's go to the monthly. Right? What are we looking at for Aptos? Let's go. All right. Right. Not Aptos, GRT. So looking at GRT, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm really liking this. I'm liking this. Who asked me? Frederico. It was Frederico. Big up Frederico. Everybody drop some nice comments in for Frederico. This is what I'm talking about. You've got your bull market here. There's your life-changing bull market right here. Okay? Oi. Why trading you doing that? There's your life-changing bull market right there. There's your round trip right here into the bear market. Okay? And then now, we've got that accumulation. Okay? I'm liking it. I'm liking it. When I see charts look like this, it signals to me that as long as they have good fundamentals, this chart is going to rip when the time is right. All right? Maybe we come back down here. Maybe we go here. Maybe we do something like this. And then we do this. And then we do this. At this stage, we've all got to make sure we're long. We've all got to make sure we're long at this stage, because what happens after that is you don't have time. It's 2 weeks of boom. Okay? That is what I want to see. That is the bottom that I'm looking for. That is the structure. But anyway, let's see if we can figure out a trade for it. Hold on. It's not really good to trade these when you identify that it's in an accumulation range and it's at a macro bottom. It's building a macro bottom. It's difficult to trade this because look at on the weekly. On the weekly, the range is so clear and it's very tight. It's very, very tight. Okay. And also at the same time, we're approaching big resistance on Bitcoin. So GRT does not look clear for me in terms of a trade right now. Even if I go into the daily. Okay, on the daily. Yeah, on the daily, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it on the daily. I know what you're looking at here. You're looking at this. Yep, you're looking at something like that. And I'm guessing that the target is going to be here and the stop loss is going to be there. But I'll be really honest. It doesn't look like a safe trade. It doesn't look like a high probability safe trade. I'd rather let this one go. And I'd rather just wait to buy it anywhere here. I'll show you what I mean. This is what I'd be waiting for. So I'd let price tighten this range a little bit here. There we go. Or we'll even there. Tighten that range. Bring this out. I'd wait for price to do something like this. So whether it wants to go up, down, take out these lows here if possible. Do its thing like this. Now, not only do we have the range highs to work with, but then we've got the rest of the chart to work with. Okay, let's have a look at what that looks like. Excuse me. There we go. Okay, it really is time to start focusing on alt season. It really, really is time, because 2 years ago it would have been stupid to talk about it, but now we've only got maybe 6, 7, 8 months to go. We haven't got a year anymore. We haven't got 11 months or 10 months or 9 months. We've got a few months now, in my opinion, before we finish up with accumulation, because that's what the chart is showing us. In my opinion, okay? In my opinion. So GRT, it's not super clear. It's not super, super clear. But is everybody happy with everything that I've shared so far? Do you understand Bitcoin? Do you understand the Aptos setup that we've got? I shared a setup for Bitcoin, shared a setup for Aptos. I explained Bitcoin in a very different way this time. I explained it in a very, very different way because I wanted to explain to you guys what the structure of a macro bottom looks like. NJ, can you explain how you do FA? That will come in time. That will come in time. Hey, bear with me, guys, for one moment, yeah? Just bear with me one moment. Thanks for waiting. Thanks for waiting. Okay, cool. So now, since we've spoken about all these charts and stuff like that, let's see where the macro stands. Let's see what the situation stands in terms of where we are in the market. Does the rest of the market listen to what we're having to say? All right. First thing is we've got Gemini. Gemini's Winklevoss demands 1.47 billion payment from DCG in final offer. Now, essentially, a lot of people have money trapped on Gemini. Gemini used to be the hot topic. Okay, and a lot of people have got money trapped on that. Cameron Winklevoss, co-founder of the crypto exchange Gemini, issued a final offer to Barry Silbert, founder of digital cryptocurrency group, to repay a total debt of 1.5 billion or risk a lawsuit. So watch out for that because that's going to be some FUD. All right, I'm not going to really touch onto this. It's an ongoing feud. We can, if you guys really want to, just drop me a comment if you really want me to. But I think it's more prevalent to talk about this. Nasdaq refiled BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF application with the SEC. Now, the key word here that you have to remember is this. That is the key word. We haven't got approval yet. If there was any insight, if there was even a moment, a percent worth of insight into this being approved, the market would go crazy. Someone was asking me earlier on, what would my invalidation be for my accumulation thesis? Well, if this gets approved and this goes live in the next couple of weeks, I'm wrong. Because then Bitcoin becomes its own thing. Okay? And I'd argue that Bitcoin could potentially drag the rest of the market up with it. But the Fed is actively working against that. So that would cause some... It would be some disruption. There would certainly be some serious disruption. Now, I did tweet the other day and I did say, look, the SEC did come back and say, look, BlackRock's application it's not really viable for Bitcoin right now. So it wasn't a rejection. It was more so just, look, we're going to park your application. You're going to need to refile it later on because it will expire. And I did say BlackRock would eventually, or at some very soonish stage, refile for the ETF. Now, they've done it ASAP. I didn't expect them to do it so quickly. Okay? So this fuels my narrative. This tells me more. This tells me that no matter what we're doing in the next couple of months, as long as these lot keep fighting for this is going to be very bullish for the cryptocurrency space. Very bullish. All right? So Nasdaq refiled an application with the US securities regulator to list an exchange traded fund by BlackRock that will reflect the price of Bitcoin to add additional details according to a filing made public on Monday. Okay, Usman here with a fantastic comment says it can take 7 to 8 months to get approved according to some sources. I agree. It could take even longer than that potentially. It doesn't happen overnight, but the most important thing is that they are pushing for it. If they're pushing for it, that's big for us. For those of you who don't know, an ETF, it's not just for people like me and you. It's for institutional investors to come in. People, the one contract for us is worth $1, right? $1 for us, right? For these guys, one contract for them will be worth 25 Bitcoin. Imagine they're going in with 1,000 contracts or something like that. Imagine that. That's insane. Imagine they go long with that. That's going to incredibly rocket the price of Bitcoin. You know? Right. Let me have a look at this comment here very quickly. Salams, bro. Is there any live streams from IFTT that touch on leverages, derivatives, and Islam, or has this topic yet to be brought up? Brother, I'll be very honest with you. I have seen you tweet this a couple of times to me, and I have seen you put some comments up. This is not my jurisdiction. If you want to look at the fiqh and jurisprudence in terms of what derivatives have to do with Islam and shorting or longing, you're going to have to find that from another source. You can't come to a crypto guy and ask that question, because I'm a crypto guy. I pray to the same God that you pray to. I look after him. I follow the same morals, etc., etc. But this is the game that I'm playing. You can't use my game and say, oh, well, NJ's doing it, so it must be halal. Or NJ's doing it, so it must be haram. You've got to go and speak to some scholars or something like that. Some scholar that works in finance to talk about longing and short. It's not about crypto, it's about finance. Yeah. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. But going back onto this BlackRock thing, this is huge. This is really, really huge news. Yes, it's coming as we are approaching resistance. This is when this news has come out. So it does work as usual. But I suspect in the next year, I think 2024 is going to be a really good year, man. I think 2024 is going to be a really good year. Now is the time to be focusing on the altcoins that you want to carry in the next cycle. 5 to 10 altcoins. I want you all to take an hour today. Take an hour for yourself today and say, you know what? NJ was saying that I need to do my homework on 5 to 10 altcoins. And within these 5 to 10 altcoins, what I'm going to do is I'm going to research about what they're about. So if my friend comes and tells me, yeah, what is this Inge token that you're talking about? Or what is this Rose token that you're talking about? Is it to do with flowers? No, Rose is a privacy token. Let me tell you a bit about it. You know? Oh, Injective is an ecosystem, essentially. Let me discuss this with you. Oh, Solana, you're looking at a layer 1 ecosystem. Let's talk about Solana. All right? I want you guys to go and study 5 to 10 altcoins, and you're going to join the communities the same way you've joined this community, and you're going to ramp up the energy in that community because the bull market is coming. You lot don't know what I'm like during the bull market. You have no idea. I can feel it bubbling in my belly. I can feel it. I hope you guys are ready to have some serious fun. It's going to be really fun. Yeah? Get excited, but make sure you're doing the work. You can't just get excited. You have to make sure you are doing work. All right? Chris says in the top 100. Yeah, mate, look, listen. In the top 100, in the top 50. Go and pick 510. They don't all have to be in the top 100. They don't all have to be in the top 50. You know, you can have maybe 2 from the top 100. You can have maybe 2 from the top 50. Maybe 1 from the top 30. And then maybe you could throw in a little small cap here and there. Muro shared a very, very micro cap the other day. You know? No, my bro, it's deeper than that. I kind of wanted to know what you feel. I quit leverage in 2021 after I made life-changing money. After that, I didn't know how to feel about it. Thanks anyway, bro. Yeah, all right. Love you, bro. Love, lots of love, lots of love. You know? NJ, what's the best way to learn TA for crypto markets? Well, Trader SC, Trader XO, they're both fantastic, fantastic individuals. It's not so much about the TA, but it's about the style. So, for example, when we were looking at Bitcoin, right? When we were looking at Bitcoin, I could have said, oh my goodness, look at all of this madness. Let me delete this whole chart. When we're looking at Bitcoin, I could have said, oh, hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Here's my range. Here's my Fibonacci. This is what I'm doing. Yeah, so this is Bitcoin right here. Obviously, this is the plan. And then if it does this, this is the plan. All right, moving on, everybody. Let's move on to the next thing now. Let's talk about Gemini. I could have done that, but I didn't. I wanted you all to understand the entire story as to why I think this is an accumulation range. And if you go to this YouTube channel, go to the playlists, go to education, you'll see a video on market cycles. And I did this video a year ago or a year and a half ago. And I spoke about this exact same thing. And lo and behold, this is what's unfolding. So go and check that out if you haven't checked that out. All right. So when it comes to Trader SC and Trader XO, their style of teaching is what helped me understand more about TA. So I would say, and I give this advice to Mac and AM as well, you don't have to do exactly the same thing I'm doing, but just go on YouTube, spend more time on YouTube, spend more time, looking for people that share a similar mindset to yourself. Watch more of these videos. I waffle a lot for an hour, 2 hours. I talk and talk and talk. How many questions can you identify from me talking for 2 hours that will help you push on to the next level? I can only take you to a certain level, and then it's up to you if you want to go to the next level and the next level and the next level. I think XO and SC can help you guys with that. There's also Crypto Chase. I mentioned Miles earlier on. Miles is working hard on his Twitter. You've got Crypto Mac. You've got Crypto AM. There's loads of different personalities in the space that will teach you the same thing in a very different way. Whether or not you can understand it will depend on who you're speaking to. But anyway, this BlackRock thing is mad. I'm very excited for this. I'm very excited for 2024. This BlackRock thing is coming to fruition. The Bitcoin halving is coming to fruition. I won't be surprised if we start seeing ETFs for Ethereum. If we see one for Ethereum, oh my God, can you imagine what this market will respond with? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We have to make sure we get our bags filled over the course of the next 6 to 9 months. Not today, not now, not at this minute, not while we're at resistance. Not when we're touching 32k resistance. We need to get our bags filled appropriately over the next 6 to 9 months at prices where people are worried, where people are scared, where people are fearing. The next time I see fear across the board, I'm going to risk too much. Get wrecked or die trying. I'm going to risk too much. And then I'm going to come live and I'm going to tell everyone that I risked too much. And then if price isn't going to go 1,000% straight away. Price is going to, it's going to range a little bit more. It's going to squeeze a little bit more. It might take a couple of months before it does the big pop. But if we are 20% down in 1 week, everybody's going to know that my net worth is 20% down. So I'm going to have to take that like a man. I'll put my balls on the table. All right. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Last piece of news that we've got. Well, not last. We've got 1 or 2 more things to cover. The last thing that we are going to cover is very important. So stick around for that. Just give us another 5 minutes of your time. Coinbase surges after Cboe names crypto exchange in Bitcoin ETF application. So another piece of news. The Cboe now is looking for a Bitcoin ETF. So it's not just BlackRock. More are coming in. More are coming in. You guys have no idea what this is gonna do, if this is actually real when this goes live. I mean, they're all probably gonna short it aggressively in the bear market, but because of the amount of volume that these platforms can bring into crypto, we may never see prices like 3,000 to 5,000 again. We may never see 10k again. We may never see 20k again. That's how this works. For the last couple of years, all I've been focused on is we're early. We are early to the game. You still have the opportunity to make life-changing gains, or you still have the opportunity to make that generational wealth. You can change your life. But the more and more I see these things coming, the more and more I realize that, yes, we were early. Yes, today we still are early. But the moment these platforms go live, I don't think we're early anymore. I don't think we'll be early anymore. At that point, if you want to buy 100 Bitcoin in the next bear market, you might need $2-3 million to do it. Minimum. It's not about putting £500 in anymore. It's not about putting £100 in anymore. It won't be easy anymore. It will be, we won't be early anymore. So that's an interesting one. Now, I don't know why Murtaza wants me to cover this. I've just got to be really honest with you, but I can't see anything crypto related on this. But apparently, there's a new platform called Threads, and it's going to be an Instagram/Twitter competitor. So maybe because we spend all our time on Twitter, maybe this is something that we need to look out for. Now, I'm not going to comment on this too much right now, but what I will say is that I will not comment. I'll reserve judgment for now. I'm not really sure if this is big news or not. I don't think this is big news. So take what you will from now. But this is big news. This is very important. Everybody pay attention to this. The buy side liquidity and sell side liquidity are thinning. Okay? It is thinning. Listen to this. When I'm looking at Bitcoin, we are looking at price going from 15k to 32k. People are calling for bull market. People are calling for alt season now. Okay? But according to this, Crypto sell side liquidity is declining, bullish, but the buy side liquidity is experiencing an even sharper decline. Now, I've been talking about this for months and months and months. I've been talking about this. I've been saying that in a bull market, fresh money comes into the market. Fresh money. It's not just one or two people winning. It's not just one account saying, yo, like I bought the bottom, like, GG bears, X, Y, and Z. It's not, that's not how bull market is. In a bull market, everybody's winning. And you know, I'm speaking directly to you, whoever's listening to this. Your friend will be in crypto. Your other friend will be DMing you about crypto. Your other friend will be talking to you about crypto. Your other friend, there'll be one or two friends that you've got that you never even speak to. You'll be going through their Instagram stories and you'll see that they're starting their own crypto courses. And you'll be like, this is interesting. Like, when did this come about? I've been in this game for 7 years and I've got my own platform. I've got all of this. You were a pharmacist for a couple of years. How did you manage to get a course going? You know? So when it comes to this, when it comes to information like this, what I want you guys to take away from this is that there needs to be fresh money that's coming into crypto, not rotational. It's not just the same money going over and over again. The people that are trying to trick you into going super long, the people that are trying to trick you, one second, people that are trying to trick you into going max long in this area here, those are the people that know that the buy side liquidity isn't there. When the fresh money starts coming in, believe me, it's going to be a hell of a party. People are going to be, the stream is going to, the numbers of the stream will be going up. The number of followers will be going up. The number of community members are going to be going up all across the board. It's not going to be how it is now. It's not just going to be 5 or 6 people that made loads of money on one altcoin. 100 people got screwed over, but apparently we're in a bull market and there's going to be an alt season next week. So buy now while we're at resistance. And then do you know what's mad? I'll tell you what's mad. You've got people that run paid groups. You've got people, it's always the 5'4", really, really skinny guys that are super insecure and require validation. Those are the ones that always tend to do stuff like this. You know? I've seen it over and over again. Once upon a time when I was like maybe 14, I was like that as well. Obviously, being 30 now, I don't approve of it, but you know, it is what it is. It's always those guys. My man turns around and says, even though this data is available to him and he's got a responsibility for his community, he says, look, I'm not chasing for no clout, but remember who was bullish in it. Remember who's been bullish since January. Well, my friend, from a TA perspective and from a meme coin perspective, yeah. How many of your followers got wrecked buying your illiquid coins? Yeah, fine. You know, shilling all these small meme coins in January and February. If we were in bull market, it shouldn't be the meme coins going up first. It should be the tier 1 coins. It should be the top 10, the top 50, the top 100. Just like I've told all of you guys to do. I've said, guys and girls, go and study 5 or 6 altcoins, 10 altcoins. Because over the next 6 to 9 months, we need to look for buying opportunities and we need to try and get in the game. All right? We need to get ready to get risk on. But when you can clearly see that no new money is coming into the market, how do you have the audacity to talk about a bull market? It just doesn't make sense. And then on top of that, you're fighting people about it. Nobody's even attacking you for it, but you're in such belief that you're anyway. Look at the data first before making an opinion. Don't just use Twitter as your entire source of knowledge. You'll get very good posts on Twitter like this one, but it's very easy to get diluted and to start thinking other stuff. You need to go on YouTube and really study, you know, go and read some articles, learn how to watch the news, learn how to study altcoins, and it will make sense. And you've got 6 to 9 months to do it. So there's nothing else for me to add on from there. Really good episode. That's all I have to say. Smash a like on the video if you are watching this recorded, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The Telegram link is the first link in the description below. So if you've made it all the way to the end of this episode and you're not part of the Telegram group, you may as well click on that link and join the Telegram group. A big shout out to Trader SC and Trader XO today. A big shout out to Miles, Crypto Mac, and Crypto AM today. And a big shout out to everybody in the chat who has tuned in, who's dropped a comment, tuning in from every other country. A big shout out to you. All right, I'll see you on the next episode soon. Stay tuned on the Telegram and Twitter to find out when that's going to be. And make sure you switch your notifications on. All right, cheers, everyone. Have a lovely, lovely day. Catch up with you all soon.